Hello, in this video I am going to show you how to set up a Flutter project or set up Flutter to create projects on your Mac for running on iOS. If you're interested on setting it up for another platform like Linux or Windows, I've got videos covering that. I've also got a video covering if you want to set up Flutter on Mac for Android, so you can do maybe iOS and Android development at the same time. Then check out that video. If you want to do iOS and Android, then check this video and that video out. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do, I'm sure you've already got it, but is install Xcode. You can get this from the App Store. So if you just download the if you open up the App Store and you search for Xcode, and I've already got it installed, download it, install the simulator, just get all of that stuff done. Once you've done that, that's like a prerequisite. Once you've done that, what you want to do is launch up a web browser and literally Google Flutter. I'll provide links to all of this so you can, so you don't have to type it out yourself. And just go to flutter.io, go to get started, Mac OS, and just click this. This will download the Flutter zip file. I'm going to cancel it. You don't need to cancel it. I'm doing it because I've already got it downloaded. Now, what we want to do is open it up. So it's right here. If you double click it, it will unzip it. And if we just wait for it to unzip this framework, and then we'll proceed with the next step. Okay, so that's unzip this. I recommend copying this folder, going to applications, create a folder called development, and you can put all of your development frameworks in here and paste it here. I've already got it pasted, so I'm not going to paste it again, but just paste it here. So you got it like so, Flutter. Now what you want to do is set up Flutter so it's linked with essentially your system path variable, which means when you open up terminal, you can access Flutter without having to always navigate to this directory. Because if you look, there's a Flutter file here, and we can run this. So we could cd to this directory in our terminal and run it, but that's not very good if we want to run Flutter, if we have to always change directory to this folder. So what we're going to do is essentially add it to our path. To do that, it is pretty simple. If you open up terminal, and in the terminal, what you want to do is we need to type in cd and put the // This will take us back to our home folder if you're not already in there, but by default it should be. Now you want to type in touch.bash_profile. So what this does, it creates a file called .bash profile if it doesn't already exist in your home directory. It does for me, and as you see when I open it, there'll already be some lines of commands in there. Yours will most likely be empty, but that's just because it probably is a new file for you. Click enter. That's created it. Now we need to open it. We can open it by doing open-e.bash_profile. This opens it in text edit. And like I said, all of this was added before. I added this just before the video, but this is essentially what we need to add. So what I want you to do is, I want to get rid of this. I want you to add this. I want you to add export space path, all uppercase, equals quotation marks, $path, all uppercase, colon, quotation mark. But before the closing quotation mark, here is where we need to put this bin folder. So if you literally drag this over here, you'll get its path. Yours will most likely look different to me. The quotation mark should be there, sorry. Yours will look most likely slightly different to mine. Or it might not, it might be the exact same path. Save that, close it, and now we just need to essentially, commit it. To do that, you do source.bash_profile. Now, if we was to do open, as you can see, it's right here. So that's what we want to do. Now, if we were to run the flutter command, flutter doctor, this will essentially just analyze the installation, the setup for Flutter, and let us know if there's anything wrong. Yours will look slightly different. Yours will most likely have more, errors and crosses, and I'm going to explain them in a moment. Okay, so this should be ticked for you if the previous step that we just did was successful. If you have a problem at any part of this video, feel free to pop me a message. This step doesn't matter for this video. We're covering that in a separate Android setup video for Mac. Same for this one. This is irrelevant unless you absolutely want to use IntelliJ. That's optional, for iOS or Android, doesn't really matter. And we've got no device connected. You can connect a device, set it up via Xcode using the provisioning profiles as you normally would for any iOS app development, where we are going to be using the simulator. That is still considered a device, but as it's not open, hence why this is essentially giving us a warning, but this is insignificant. This is the one I'm interested in. For me, it's ticked. For you, most likely, you're going to have a cross. Not only that, it's going to be moaning about a whole bunch of different things, about installing this, about installing that, and that's what we are going to cover right now. So to essentially set all of that up, it's really simple. First of all, if you go to your web browser again and Google Homebrew, and then go to brew.sh, and I'm going to copy this. I'm going to copy all of this, copy that. And this is a package manager that allows you to install frameworks and packages in Terminal really easily. And if we open up Terminal, and if we right click, paste in here, this is where you would click enter. I'm not going to click enter because I've already got it installed. So you would click enter at that point. So let me just delete this. It will take a little bit of time. If it asks for your password, put the password in. You might need that to install some things. Also, the password will not appear in Terminal, so when you type in, it is actually being, input. So don't worry about that. Once that's installed and it's all successful, what you want to do is type in brew update. Brew is the command for Homebrew, and this will just update Homebrew. Most likely should be already up to date, but if not, maybe you have an older version, or you install it, then go away for maybe a day or two, and there's a new version released. But this is what you need to do. Then you want to run the command brew install --head USB muxd. Again, yours is going to take longer than this, and you will not get this warning because I've already got it installed. Next, we need to do brew link USB muxd. So you need to link it up. I'm going to get a warning because it's already linked. You will not get a warning. You will have a successful linkage. Next, you need to do brew install --head lib iMobile device. This allows you to essentially connect to iPhones, iPads, that sort of stuff. Click enter. Again, I'm going to get a warning because I've already got it installed. You most likely will not. Next, we need to do brew install iDevice installer iOS -deploy CocoaPods. Click enter. I've already installed this, so it shouldn't do anything for me. It should just give me a warning. Again, some of these commands can take a bit of time, so just be patient. The last thing you want to do is pod setup. This sets up CocoaPods and spell setup correctly. Click enter. I'm not going to click enter because honestly I can't remember whether you'll give me a warning or not, or just do the installation again. And the installation took me about 10 minutes. So this command will take the longest of all the commands in this video. So click enter. I'm deleting it because I've already done it. Once you've done that, you're actually all ready to go to create your first Flutter project. Now, what we need to do is navigate using our terminal to where we want our Flutter project created. I want it on the desktop. I'm going to put cd desktop. Now I'm on the desktop. To create a Flutter project is really, really simple. All we need to do is type in Flutter create, and now put the name of our app. It has to be all lowercase. So if I put all uppercase, or if I put an uppercase A, it will give me a warning saying that it needs to be lowercase, and there's some other conditions you can read here as well. So if I put lowercase app, for example, that will now create a folder with our project in there. So all done, almost. It's almost complete. And now it's all done. This essentially has just rechecked this, and I'll recommend you doing Flutter Doctor again just to make sure essentially this one and this one are ticked. If not, if there's anything still moaning, maybe there's a suggestion there of a command to run it if there is. If not, feel free to put me a message. Now you can run the Flutter app in two ways. You can run it using this, which essentially you do cd app, or you do cd and drag this folder on. This is the more universal way, and then do Flutter run. And as you can see, it's given an error because there's no device connected. So if I was to run the simulator, assuming you've already installed it, and the type of simulator that you want to do is totally up to you. You can change the device if you want to. You can do a lot of stuff here, but it doesn't really matter. And now if I was to do Flutter run, it is launching it. It has now located a device that has been connected. In this case, it is the simulator. And any moment now, it will run this default app. And if there were any, sort of errors in your code, they will be displayed here as well. So this has launched. Essentially, this default application just counts how many times we have clicked this button. Okay, what I want to do is, so to quit, we can just do Q. The way I want to show you is if we quit out of this, another way to run it is via Xcode. So if you open up your app folder, go to iOS, go to runner.xcode prod. So this is the Xcode project. Double click that and open up the Xcode project. And now in here, you can essentially just select a emulator or an actual device itself if you've already got that set up. Click run, and it will build the project, compile it, and it will launch it up, and it will launch the emulator as well. So that's the good thing about Xcode. If you don't have the emulator open, or something to do with the device, if it's able to launch it and open it, it will. And any moment now, it will show our application. And here we go. There we go. If we click it, it picks up how many times we've clicked it. And the great thing about this, we can do a lot of debugging in Xcode as well. We can just quit it like so. To edit the code, it isn't over here. None of the code is. So the way you would need to edit it is outside of Xcode, and the code is located in lib main.dart. So all of that you saw is produced from main.dart. You can open that in a text editor like Sublime, or even something simple like TextEdit, or something more complex like Visual Studio Code, Sublime, Atom. Is totally up to you, or Brackets, for example. That's it for this video. Like I said, there are separate videos covering the Linux and the Windows setup. There's another video covering Android setup on Mac. Feel free to check that out. If you have any questions though, feel free to pop me a message. And as usual, I look forward to seeing you in the next video.